I'm just going to warn you, my passion's going to come through tonight. It really is. Getting ready for the course that is launching next week, going through what we've went through this year with Darren and finding out about his strokes and even updates on my own cancer journey. It's just fueled my fire inside of my soul. There's so much work that needs to be done. As the scientific research comes out, and we now know more than ever the direct connection between toxins and the healthiness of our bodies and the connection between disease. Oh, guys, like 2022, I want to educate as many people as we can. I don't want people to hear that diagnosis. I don't want people to lessen their quality of life because they're dealing with pain in their body that can be prevented. Like, there's just so much more we can do. So yeah, my passion's going to come through tonight. Okay, so I'm going to try and keep it, about 45 minutes or so. Ask your questions in the chat as we go through. And if I forgot anything else, post it in the chat and I will be sure to get to it. Hello, everybody. Yes, give me a hello. Let me know who's all here with us. I would love that to see who's all here. That would be awesome. Okay, let's get started, guys. Enough about that. So toxin-free living. We are going to get into, hey, Amber. Oh, Jim, hello. Hello, Darlene. Oh, so awesome, guys. Sue. Oh, Rosebud, Alberta. That is so awesome. Greetings, greetings. Okay, toxin-free living, guys. What more do we need to know? Well, there's a lot more we need to know. So what am I going to talk about tonight? I am going to talk about a couple of things, a few things. I'm going to talk about how toxins are affecting the cells in our body and directly how they're affecting the cells in our body. Like, what exactly happens in our body when toxins are entered into our body? What happens to the cells? When I say toxins are killing us, what do I really mean? How are they killing us, right? I say that all the time, toxins are killing us, toxins are making us sick. But really, what happens? What happens in the body? I'm going to talk a little bit about toxins and our food. I'm going to explain the volatile organic compounds. This is something that is not talked about very often. That needs to be. There needs to be more understanding to exactly what is a volatile organic compound and how damaging it is to the body. We're going to talk a little bit about the immune system. We're going to talk about emotions and stress and how that causes toxins in the body. And then we're going to talk about how do you move forward in this toxin-free living? Because I'm such an advocate for teaching people how to reduce toxins, there's this perception out there that, our life is like perfect toxin-free. I'm that perfect granola mom kind of thing that, makes sure her kids are just eating certain things. And no. What toxin-free living means is that you're trying to make better choices that are in front of you. So an example of what I mean by that is if you're going on a family holiday and everyone is starving and you pull into a small town and you see a McDonald's and you see a Subway. Well, neither of them are really good, but what is the better of that choice? Well, probably Subway, and then making better choices when you order. That's what it means to be toxin-free living. It doesn't mean you have this grandiose, glorious, perfect non-toxins in your food or in your home. Not at all. It's just about becoming educated and making better choices. That's really what it's about. And that's what I'm so passionate about. Okay, first, you guys, I got to talk about my crew. I got to talk about my boys. I'm going to take a few seconds because what has come clear to me in the last couple of weeks is that there's a lot of new people that are in the Facebook groups that are following me on social media who don't really understand a lot of my background and how I got to where I am. And for those of you that do know me, you know how important all my men are to me, my amazing husband, Darren, and my 4 boys. I still cannot believe that almost 11 years ago now, it'll be 11 years next month, when I was told that I wasn't going to make it to Christmas of that year, that my husband and I now have turned this into a passion for our entire family on how to help other families. You know, how do you deal with it when you hear that news? How do you then start transitioning? How, as a caretaker, right? Like kids with the choices they get. Oh my goodness, guys, the choices that kids have to make in school on a daily basis. And again, it goes down to, it's not about being perfect. It's about understanding the choices and making the best choices at that time. So I'm so thankful to my boys. It's because of them that I get to spend all my time talking to amazing people like you who want to make better choices too and want to do better. Okay, so let's talk about toxins in the body. And for those of you that don't know me, I am on a type of chemo that really, it dries out the saliva in my mouth. So if you see me pausing and taking a drink of water, that's what I'm doing. I always tell people that used to bug me when I would see people like, why do they have to stop and take a drink of water? Well, for me, I kind of have to. So I just like making that known out there for sure. Okay, what are the 5 toxic entities? When we are talking about toxin-free living, these are the 5 categories that they are all kind of go into: chemical, biological, physical, radiation, and then behavioral toxicity. So what does that exactly mean? So chemicals, pretty straightforward, right? It's just the chemicals and the reactions that happen in our body. Biological, that is more of the viruses and the bacteria that are in our environment that we come in contact to. Physical is more when there is a physical, when it goes directly to do damage. So when we talk about pathogens and toxins, there's kind of 2 different categories. There's a substance that comes into the body, reacts within our body's system, and creates a pathogen that creates toxins. Okay, so that's kind of the one way. There's a whole other category out there of compounds, of chemicals, of toxins that they go directly to the cells and do damage. They go right through our system. They power through it. There's no protection whatsoever, and they go direct and do damage. Those are the ones we really got to learn about, and most people don't know about. Radiation, right? I've had my lifetime amount of radiation. So for me, every time I need to go get a PET scan done or a CT scan done, I have to make the conscious choice as the amount of radiation that I am getting in that scan. Am I willing to accept the risk that comes with that radiation? Most people aren't in that category. Most people can get numerous scans and it's not going to interfere in their body or create toxins. But for people who have gone through cancer and have had all sorts of different types of radiation, yeah, we need to be aware of that. And we need to be aware and we need to know what to do. And we need to understand the consequences of our choices. And then there's behavioral toxicity, right? And I kind of put 2 things into this category. I put emotions into this category and stress. But really, what this one includes is behavior choices that we make that create toxins. I'm going to give you an example of that. Smoking. Let's talk about smoking. So when you light up a cigarette and you breathe it in, that is a behavioral choice that is creating toxins in your body. When you decide to, eat an unhealthy dinner or fatty food, that is a behavioral choice that is creating toxicity in your body. It is all the behaviors of your lifestyle that contribute to your overall toxic load. And in the 8-week course, I'm going to talk a lot about our toxic burden and our toxic load, because they're 2 different things, our toxic burden and our load. Our load is how much toxins can we handle, can we kind of carry? And the burden is of those toxins. What is the burden of the damage that those toxins can do? So I tell people that You know, when I first started educating about toxins, it was so much more about, you know, cleansing the body, the food, the dirty dozen. But over the years, I've just gotten so much more passionate. So I tell people, if you're looking for a course that is just your typical, oh, live toxin free, you know, eat organic, that's not what this course is. This course, this 8-week course, is about diving into all the things about toxins and diving into the science and diving into understanding what can be damaging and hurting your family. So let's talk about the volatile organic compounds. So don't forget, if you have questions, put them in the chat. I would love to answer them. Now, a volatile organic compound. It sounds like it's, oh, scary. Like, what exactly does this mean? But it's really not. They are chemicals found in products that we use in our home, but it's not just that. So let's take a candle. When we light a candle in our home, we know that there are toxins coming off from that candle. So what volatile organic compounds are is from a product in our home that is releasing a substance into the air. Those off gases, how damaging are they to the air that we breathe? We may not even be able to smell them. You may not even know that, you know, they're not in your environment, but whether you can smell them or not is not an indicator of how damaging they are. So let's just think about this. You light a candle, okay? Let's say you light a candle in your bedroom, and your bedroom is a smaller bedroom, and you have an ensuite in your bedroom. And in that ensuite, you have maybe a body spray, you have a perfume that you spray, I don't know, just other things that have like things that go into the air, the off gases. And when you're in a small bedroom, and if you close the door, the concentration of those volatile organic compounds is much greater than if you were to do those same things in an open gym or a big space, because it's in the room, in the concentration. So I hope that's making sense to you guys, because it's really important to understand. It's the volatile off gases of substances that release items, things into the air, and depending on the concentration, depending on how volatile they are. So understanding this is so important. You know, a couple of examples, and on the next slide, I show you some different categories, but benzene, glycol, formaldehyde, a lot of menthol products as well too. They actually are very damaging. So, you know, so many people tell me that, oh, Kim, you tell me to use a diffuser and put Purify in it, and that's going to help clean the air. Like, what are you talking about? How is a little diffuser putting out a little bit of some like essential oil, how is that actually going to clean the air? Well, the volatile compounds, it dilutes, it brings the concentration of those volatile organic compounds to a lower level, less damaging. So yes, I'm sorry, those few little drops of an essential oil that you put in your diffuser can make a huge difference on the concentration of these volatile organic compounds. So I hope that makes sense. And I go into so much more about it in the toxin-free course in the 8 weeks, but it's really important that you guys understand that. Okay, what are the sources of volatile organic compounds? They are building materials, paints, varnishes, adhesives, carpet. Oh my goodness, guys, if you have carpet, just get rid of it. Like, I know it can be expensive to get rid of carpet, but carpet just, if I could do a course on how damaging carpet is, the bacteria, the chemicals, the volatile organic compounds, all the stuff that sits in carpet that we're walking on, like, guys, like, just get rid of it. Upholstery, foam, curtains. If we go into personal care products, air fresheners, which you shouldn't use toxic cleaning products, fuel, gas, cosmetics, smoking, candles, dry cleaning, like dry cleaning is very toxic. Where I live, there's only one organic dry cleaner, and it's very expensive, but most dry cleaners, it's awful. Cooking, cooking. Yes, the pots we use, the utensils we use, they can all be toxic. And there's so many simpler choices that you don't even realize you can make that make a big difference on your toxic burden. Activities, smoking, dry cleaning, photocopiers, hobbies, burning wood. So let's talk about smoking, guys. And this is the example that I use that helps people really understand them. How do I want to say it? Understand the diversity of toxins, I guess, is that's kind of the way that I want to put it. So a cigarette, when you pick up a cigarette and you light it, first of all, there's toxins coming from lighting it. So just from lighting it and just the off gases that are coming from it, there's already off gases coming just from lighting it, not even you inhaling it yet, just from lighting it. Okay. So then you breathe in the cigarette, the breathing in of the nicotine, the tobacco, that's creating toxins in the body. Oh, vaping, Audrey. Yes, I'm going to talk about that. That's a good one. Thanks for bringing that up. Then when you inhale the cigarette, it is that air that you're breathing in that creates another level of toxins in the body. Then you breathe out, that's releasing toxins into the air. So just think in that entire process from lighting the cigarette to inhaling it to breathing out, think about all the different toxins in that one action of smoking creates. When I talk to high schools, especially, there's a couple of high schools that bring me in just to talk right to grade 10s and sometimes grade 12s, but it's mostly grade 10s because that's when you're faced with a lot of those choices, like you're saying, Audrey, right, about vaping. And I was one of those people. I was one of those people that said, everything kills. I'm just going to enjoy life, right? I'm going to drink my diet pop. I'm going to use my toxic perfumes. I'm going to use my toxic makeup. I'm going to, all those choices. And I used to say, and I feel awful saying this, but I remember thinking like, that's okay. If I get cancer and get sick, I'll be okay. I just want to enjoy life. But then when you hear those words, you're like cancer at 38. Oh, if I could only go back, if I could only go back. So when I'm talking to these kids and having them understand all the different damages, it's not just smoking that kills. There's like 10 different compounds, instances of that smoking of toxins you're creating that can kill. And yes, everything does kill. Essentially, it does, because everything does create toxins in our body, or our body's not strong enough to deal with it, and then it creates toxins in our body. And we're going to talk more about that. So now about the vaping, there's so much science coming out about vaping, and there's so much more science coming out. I gotta actually tell you a funny story about this though first. It's so funny. So my oldest boy, he's 21, he's going to be 22 this year. And I think he was like grade 9, grade 10, at that age. And we had suspected, that, I think he's tried it, right? And so sure enough, we found one in his room, and I was so mad. So I confronted him. And he was so scared. He felt so bad. He's like, I knew it was bad, Mom. I knew it was bad. But Mom, I used your wild orange essential oil, so I didn't think it would be bad. I had to laugh. I couldn't even be mad at him anymore because he was making those choices in his head saying, okay, yeah, I want to try it, but I don't want to use the toxic oil. So I'm going to use my mom's essential oil. It was just, we just laughed, and we still laugh about it today. But that's a perfect example too of, again, educating and making the best decision and understanding the consequences of your decision. So with regards to vaping, it depends what you're vaping, first of all. So if you're putting in an oil that is full of toxins, full of a chemical flavor, which is what most of them are, they're laden with different flavors, and that's full of chemicals, that's right there is an issue. The air, the vape coming in is still an issue. the particles are a little bit different than smoking. So, you know, there's two camps out of there. There's the camp that it's just as bad as smoking to the lungs, but then there's this camp over here that no, the particles are quite different and don't do as much damage. But either way, it's one of those behavioral toxicities that, yes, it does create toxins. It's just maybe not as a big contributor to that toxic load or that toxic burden. I hope that makes sense to everybody, because it still is a bad choice. But if someone was going to wanted to smoke and I couldn't talk them out of it, I would probably lead them to a vape, and then I would probably lead them to a natural oil. First of it would be not to, like, don't get me wrong. Like when I explain this to people, no, I'm not saying that at all to vape. But what I am saying, if they want to, let's help them make the best choice possible. Heavy metal toxicity in petrochemicals, everywhere, everywhere. So many people used to say that, oh, especially where I live in Alberta, that, you know, Sherwood Park, Fort Saskatchewan, Gibbons, that whole area is just, because we have all the refineries here, that it's very toxic. And I didn't believe it. I'm like, we all breathe the same air. Well, no, the air we breathe in Sherwood Park, Fort Saskatchewan is very different than the air people breathe in Calgary. And that is something that was really shocking to me when I worked with a research doctor to really understand exactly what the toxins were doing. And in a few slides, I have a diagram that really explains as to how the air that we breathe, the toxins, and how it's so damaging to our body. But when I was working with this research doctor, and it's in the U of A building, and of course research doesn't have that much funding, so they don't have that many, you know, professors there. But there was this one lady, she was just awesome, and she knew that I wanted facts. She knew that I wanted science, that I wasn't just going to accept whatever some doctor said. And then she showed me the map, and a map of Canada, not even a map of Alberta, a map of Canada. And there was this big red circle around Edmonton, Sherwood Park, south side of Edmonton, Sherwood Park, Fort Saskatchewan, Gibbons, you know, all the little small little towns in there. And to this day, it is the highest concentration of hormone-based cancers. So that's hormone-based cancers in women, breast cancer, ovarian cancer. In men, prostate cancer, testicular cancer, any cancer that originates from a hormone, and MS in all of Canada, the highest concentration of MS and hormone-based cancers. That's crazy, 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 crazy. Okay, this is a diagram that will help you understand how environmental and lifestyle choices that you make impact the changes in your body. So when we look at inflammation in the body, and essentially all diseases start from an inflammation. So whether we're looking at cancer, whether we're looking at MS, whether we're looking at Parkinson's, whether we're looking at arthritis, it all starts at that fundamental of how strong your immune system is and how much inflammation do you have in your body. Now, when we look at all those lifestyle factors that come in, right? So if you look at those toxic cleaners, candles, sugar, stress, diet, the air, the volatile compounds, alcohol, meat, all that kind of stuff. If you're making all these lifestyle choices that contribute to toxins, that contribute to your toxin load and your toxic burden, then yeah, you are going to get some form of disease in the body. I hate to say it, but it's just true. It is. It's our lifestyle choices are bringing on disease earlier and earlier and earlier. Now, at the bottom of that cone, you see the cells in the body. And very simply, when all those lifestyle choices we make impact our body, they damage the cell just a little bit. And then if we don't have a diet that's high enough in water, high enough in antioxidants to flush out those damaged cells from our lifestyle choices, they're going to create disease in the body. They're going to mutate to create cancerous tumors. They're going to mutate to create tumors that are not cancerous. They're going to mutate to create inflammation. They're going to mutate to create some sort of disease. That's how it comes down right to that. It's our choices are making us sick. It's a matter of how soon that sickness comes on, depending on, again, your choices. Now, this is the part that's scary. This genetic side of all diseases out there, it's a little bit higher when we talk specifically about cancer, but when we generally look at a disease caused from toxic burden, toxic load, environmental, lifestyle factors, only 5 to 20% of all those diseases that we talked about come from some genetic predisposition. 80% plus is come from lifestyle choices. Like, does that not just scare you? Like, when this research doctor sat me down and told me this, I really felt like I was kicked in the gut again. Like, it was like the first time when I was told that I have cancer. When she told me that, I kind of looked at her and I'm like, so you mean that all the choices I've made in my life added up to me hearing the words, you have cancer? And she's like, yeah. So then I said to her, if I would have made better choices, would I not have gotten cancer? She goes, that we would never know. But what I do know, and what we do know in society, is that when people are in their 70s, 80s, yeah, they get cancer because it's a lifestyle of these choices. But what is happening in the world today is those lifestyle choices are getting more frequent, more dangerous, highly toxic, which brings the age at which you're getting diagnosed with the diseases even younger. Me at 38. I know many of you on here that are taking the course next week. Yeah, you're in the same boat. It's pretty scary. Like, when you really sit and think about it, it's really scary. So toxin-free living. Why do we want to live toxin-free? It's very simple. We want to live. We want to live and we want a better quality of life. And so when we look at the artificial food additives, the cleaning product, the disinfectants, the air fresheners, personal products, all those things, prescription drugs, gasoline. 5 years ago, the average person would come into contact with 168 synthetic chemicals in a 24-hour period. Now, we would like to think that now, in this day and age, that it's going to be much better. It's not. The number now, 550 synthetic chemicals. That's the average that a person comes in contact in every 24 hours with some type of synthetic chemical. Why are we not doing better? Why are we doing worse? I don't know, but I am going to do lots of research this year, and it's going to be, we need to change. We're going this way, not that way. It's awful. Something needs to change. This is why I'm so passionate about, people say, oh, Kim, you live and breathe doTERRA. Well, yeah, I do, because it's the only company out there that has a wide variety of solutions that are natural, that are toxin-free, that are not contributing to my toxic load. There's no other company like it. No other company like it. And believe me, I did my research. So when people say, Kim, oh, get off you're drinking the Kool-Aid. Well, yeah, I am, because I want to be healthy. And if you don't want to drink the Kool-Aid, you don't have to. But if you want to, I think it'd be a good idea. From our laundry soap to our toothpaste, to our hand sanitizer, to our immune support, to hand soap, like the wide variety of things. And that's what we talk about in this course. Like, after the 8 weeks, we will have gone through everything in your house and shown you what you could replace it with to drastically reduce your toxic load, because that's what we need to do. We absolutely need to do that. Okay, let's talk about toxins and our immune support. Okay, so when we look at our immune system, there's a whole bunch of different things in our body that contributes to fortifying our immune system. You know what, guys, here? I better plug in my computer or it's going to die. Give me 1 second here, guys. There we go. We don't have to worry about losing the computer. Our bodies. Now, when I was getting ready and practicing kind of really what I wanted to talk about tonight, I found myself that when I got to this slide, I would spend like 10, 15 minutes on the slide because I don't think people really understand how many different areas, organs in our body that are part of our immune system. Let's start at our tonsils and our adenoids. This is one that I still do not bring up very often with parents, especially newborn parents, because, well, you know, next to talking about vaccine and politics and masks and not, tonsils is probably right up next to it. With Dawson, my oldest, he was 2 years old and he had tons of ear infections. And we eventually went and saw an ears, nose, and throat specialist. And the first thing was, oh, yeah, he needs to get his tonsils removed and maybe his adenoids. But yeah, tonsils really don't do anything, right? Kids, it's no big deal, get them removed. And I just remember leaving there and it was just common sense again that I was thinking. It's just like, well, why would we have tonsils if you say now we don't need them? Like, that just didn't make sense in my mind. And so even back at that point, before I was diagnosed, that was 10 years before I was diagnosed, I didn't allow it. And the doctor thought I was crazy. Well, back then, even when I did that research, our tonsils and our adenoids are the first part of our immune system that either help or hurt our immune system. And if you remove that, those toxins go straight into your body. They just go straight into your body, no decrease, not diminished. They go straight right in. Because if there's no tonsils and adenoids to do what it's meant to do, which is to kind of act as a first bodyguard, that's what the tonsils are. They're the first bodyguard. Bacteria comes in or a virus comes in, they're like, nope, you're not going in. We're going to deal with you. We're going to break you down for that's easy to get waste, or we're going to make it in the mouth for that when you clean your mouth, it's going to come out. If you don't have that, those toxins go straight into the body. So yeah, when I talk to mothers about, oh no, I just don't want my kid to deal with ear infections, it's just easier to get the tonsils out. Well, yeah, you know, it is easier, but it's not the best choice. And in the long run, a lifetime of not having those tonsils and the adenoids to be your first line of defense to toxins, yeah, it's a big one. So I'm passionate about that. And, you know, I'm usually, when I talk to people, I like to play Switzerland quite a bit, but not with that one. I'm very vocal about that one because it's so important. And it makes me so mad that doctors even today just make it sound so easy, right? Just to, yeah, let's get rid of them. Because yeah, it does solve the problem and it's easier on the mom because you don't have a kid crying all night because of an ear infection. But yeah, there's other ways. So anyway, so those are all the components of our immune system, and each one of them have a specific purpose and they all work together. So when we talk about supporting our immune system, it's about supporting all these different parts of our bodies and these different organs. When toxins enter our bodies, it suppresses the immune system, especially with heavy metal toxicity, and then creates inflammation. So we need to take care of our immune systems. Autoimmune causes. So when your immune system is suppressed because you have a high toxic load, when your immune system is suppressed, you have genetic predisposition to autoimmune, but a lot of times it creates infections, hormone imbalance, diet is a huge contributor, stress, our toxin load, and free radicals. And free radicals, as much as I would love to talk about free radicals in this class, it's just too much, but I go into great depth about what free radicals are, how we can prevent free radicals in our bodies, and how we can deal with them. Now, I'm not going to go through all these. If you want, by all means, take a picture of the slideshow. These are all the diseases caused by what? A weakened immune system. Yeah, it's That's why all these diseases are caused, just because our immune system is weakened, because we haven't had a good diet, because we have a high toxin load. And these are all the diseases that can come. Like, that's pretty scary, right? Like, let alone talking about the big diseases, like, the big C and MS and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, toxins are the common denominator in all these sicknesses and all these diseases. Let's talk a little bit about toxin and nutrition. I'm not going to spend much time on this, because if there's an area where people are educated, it's probably in this, because a lot of people think toxin-free living is just about food. Well, that's such a small component of it. When you look at your diet and nutrition, it means that you're eating a variety of food and nutrients to keep your body healthy. Now, I know how hard it is when you are eating a clean diet. Believe me, I know how hard it is. But it's so important. And what I talk about in the course is, what are the choices with diet and nutrition that have the biggest impact in supporting your body? Because we're all human, right? Our kids are human. They're going to be in situations where they're probably going to pick the pizza or pick the pop or pick something sugary. But if those choices become less and the better choices become more, our bodies can naturally deal with it. But when we're making all the bad choices, our bodies can't. My first time to Indonesia, so for those of you that don't know, when I was diagnosed and went through standard treatment, which was, a chemo, tons of surgeries, lifetime amount of radiation, shortly after that, I started working, as I mentioned, with that research doctor, but working with a doctor in Indonesia, Dr. Kate Reardon, that really helped me understand a lot of this. And a lot of, like, what I'm talking about in this course, a lot of it is what I learned 10 years ago. A lot of it is from what I've taken last year, but this is what she was talking about 10 years, and really opened my eyes to food. And really, at the end of the day, for those of you that are on the call with me that live in Canada and live in the colder climates, no matter how great you are at picking up good organic foods and cooking, and you still are not going to get enough supplements that our bodies need. It's just not possible. And especially vitamin D. Vitamin D is something we're hugely lacking in Canada. Okay, so there's the two types of sugars though. Sugar kills, right? Bottom line, sugar kills. There's natural occurring sugars, so that's sugar from grapes, right? And other fruits. And then there's added sugars. Now, it's almost deflating when you hear that whether you're eating an apple or whether you're, eating a chocolate bar, our bodies react the same way to sugar, whether it's natural or whether it's added. It really does. With the fruit, we're getting other vitamins and minerals, which is good, but it's still sugar. If you love fruit, stick with the berries. Blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, not strawberries. Strawberries, again, the Dirty Dozen, for any of you guys that, watch a lot of those websites, strawberries are the #1 toxic food for the 6th year in a row. 6th year in a row, strawberries are the most toxic. Like, my family loves strawberries. So why is sugar so bad? There's no nutritional value. It has no protein, minerals, vitamins. It suppresses the immune system. It creates a biochemical chaos, anti-nutrient, minimal imbalance. Like, it's just stay away from sugar. Excess sugar consumption can cause inflammation, oxidative stress, and obesity. These factors influence our risk in developing a life-altering disease. Other foods to avoid: processed meat, alcohol, fried foods, white flours, artificial colors, charred meats. Yes, meat. This is one that people are surprised. And in the 8 weeks, guys, we go into so much, and you guys get recipes and you get so much information that you guys can print out. And my hope is that in this 8-week course that you guys are like me, create yourself this big 3-inch binder, each for each week, and print everything out, because you're going to have so much good information that you're going to be able to print out and have a lifetime access to. But meat, no matter how you look at it, any meat, as soon as it starts changing color, so as soon as it starts turning that light brown, it is a carcinogenic. So that light brown, nice skin on a turkey, carcinogenic. Those light, nice charred lines on a steak, carcinogenic. So then people ask, well, then how do you cook your meat? Well, to some people, this is gross, but actually is good, is to boil your meat. It's the healthiest way to eat meat. If you're going to eat meat, yeah, to boil it. Now, when we're talking about nutrition, why do we say plant-based? What is this big deal about having a plant-based diet? Foods have molecules that are very specific to healing properties. Plants specifically produce thousands and thousands and thousands that protect us against bacteria, viruses, and many threats. And another thing with phytochemicals that come from plant-based, I call it plant-based medicine, but it's plant-based nutrition, is the antioxidant properties. Going back to that smoker guy, that guy's smoking, he's inhaling, those toxins are coming into the body. Those toxins itself have caused issues, but then they create and damage cells. Now, with those damaged cells in the body, once they're damaged, there's only 2 things that can happen. You're going to have a food that has cellular repair, right? So frankincense, for example, is cellular repair. Clove is cellular repair. Lots of plants help cells repair. So that smoker, you're either going to have, or you're eating something, or you're taking a supplement that has cellular repair that is going to help fix that damaged cell from the smoker, or you're eating and drinking high antioxidants to flush that damaged cell out. Those are the only 2 ways to deal with a cell that has been damaged from toxins. So if you are not eating a diet that's high in antioxidants, or having something that has cellular repair properties, what does that damaged cell do in the body? It looks and it attaches to another cell and says, okay, can you fix me? And can we do what I meant to do? No, then they attach to another cell, and they attach to another cell, and they attach to another cell. And then before you know it, tumors are formed, and then they can be cancerous or not. Plant-based medicine. A nutritionist recommends at least 2.5 cups of fruits and veggies a day. And again, that's berries, right? No other fruit besides berries. And then you want to make sure too that you have colorful veggies, right? Dark greens, kale, spinach, zucchini, cauliflower, just a wide variety of colors. Now, a great way to do it is to have smoothies, right? Smoothies are juices. I tell people that if you're making a smoothie, because a smoothie you blend and it keeps everything together. A juice is where it removes the kind of the fibrous, the pulp, and you're just getting the liquid from it. Is that you want to do 1 to 2 fruits to 3 to 5 veggies. That's a good kind of mixture to make sure that you're still getting more of the veggie properties, but adds a little bit of sweetness to make it palatable. So why supplement? You guys probably already know this answer now, because we don't get it in the food we eat, especially if you're living in Canada. Just look at your own diet. Do you get 25 grams of fiber a day if you look at your own diet? And fiber is so important, guys. Fiber with our digestive system, fiber with the toxins, it's so important. It's highly unlikely. If anyone on here does get 25 grams a day, I would be like, high five, because it is hard to get 25 grams a day. Protein, you're supposed to get 0.36 grams per 1 pound of body weight. So take average female, 150 pounds, that's 54 grams of protein. That's a lot of food to get 54 grams of protein. Most Canadians do not get enough magnesium, calcium, vitamin A, and vitamin D. We just don't. We do not get it in our foods. That is why you need to supplement. Now, and I did this at the beginning. You can go to a naturopathic doctor and you can walk out $500 later with essentially the same things that you get in these 3 bottles. Doterra's Lifelong Vitality is the perfect combination of everything you need. A multivitamin that gives you the vitamins and minerals for stronger nails, healthier hair, strong bones, a cellular support that gives you more energy, DNA protection, and heart health, and then the omegas, which give better sleep, healthy gut, and more focus. Like, that's the perfect combination there. And the best thing about it is it's about $100 for all 3 of those to take 1 4 times a day. So that's per month. They're so good. Most people can divide it in half and make 1 order, 1 set of bottles lasts 2 months. So that's less than $50 a month. They're whole food. They are highly absorbable. I encourage you to any naturopath, any doctor, if you take these vitamins and you show them, they're going to say, yeah, there you go. Wow, these are really good. I've had lots and lots and lots and lots of people who I say, don't take my word for it. Go and do it yourself. And like, yeah, and even prenatal, right? That's something in itself. I won't even start on that topic. There's so much marketing and gimmicks around prenatal vitamins, but yeah, so much so. Now, for those of you that have cancer or are worried about getting cancer, just reach out to me, because there are certain things that we need to watch out for in natural products that contribute to a hormone-based cancer. But that's just for people who have a hormone-based cancer. Any other cancer, you're fine, but a hormone-based cancer, we have to be really careful of what we take in, because it can impact our hormones. But like, there's no better vitamins on the market. Why essential oils then? Well, it's very simple. It's plant-based medicine. It's concentrated plant-based medicine. There's no simpler way I can say it. You know, and again, it's that, oh, Kim, like, you sure drink that Doterra Kool-Aid. No, I drink being healthy. I drink plant-based medicine. I don't mean literally, but I'm kind of, you know, comparatively, that, yeah, Doterra has the only purest, highly concentrated plant-based medicine. 1 drop has 40 million trillion molecules that literally in a matter of minutes service every cell in our body, is making a difference. In that picture below there is that you see that when essential oils hit a cell, they can get into the center of the cell where viruses reside and can start promoting a healthier cellular function, or help maintain its natural state and support the cell receptors. What was I saying earlier on when I was talking about nutrition? Is that when you've made a lifestyle choice that triggers toxins in the body, that creates a damaged cell, you only got 2 choices. You're either going to have a high antioxidant diet to wash it out, or you're taking something that is cellular repair, which is plant-based medicine, which is concentrated essential oils. It's that simple, right? Okay, I'm going to quickly go through this last one here. We're rounding up on the top of the hour. I tried to keep it 45 minutes, but I knew I'd be passionate about this tonight. In the 8-week course, we talk about the mindset, and it's such an important part. We have 3 brains in our body, from our logical brain, our heart brain, and our digestive brain, and they all can create toxins in the body if we do not learn to manage mindset, emotions, and stress very well. Stress hormones, what they are is when, because I didn't understand this, right? Like, when the doctors would say, Kim, stress kills. Kim, like, you know, like, manage your stress, like, it creates toxins. I'm like, how can something that happens outside of my body, how can that create toxins in my body just by how I'm feeling? Well, no. Our emotion are literally information carrier molecules that they bind and react to our cell receptors. Now, remember when I was talking about cell receptors, a cell, those environmental lifestyle factors come in, they're going to damage that cell and maybe a receptor or in that cell. Then they go and find another cell. And if you're not high antioxidant or cellular repair, those cells keep attaching to other cells and grow and create some type of tumor. Well, essential oils bind to those receptors, the emotions also, and the essential oils, the plant-based medicine can help repair because of how concentrated they are and because they can get directly into that center of our cells. It's just, it's so important. Our digestive system and our mindset and our nutrition, I think I would say three. I was going to say our digestive system and our emotions, our stress are two of the most important things. And it really is. They're two things that are so important to our overall immune system and digestive system. They really are. We're going to talk a lot about stress hormones and what they do. Stress hormones, man, they do a lot of damage. Chronic stress that we have. And, you know, working with a lot of people facing cancer, yeah, we have chronic stress because every little ache in our body, we're worried. Is it more cancer? Has the cancer spread more? Or is it a new cancer? Like, yeah, we deal with chronic stress, but there's lots of things that we can do to lower the impact, the damage that stress is doing in our bodies. Talk to a professional, practice yoga and meditation, work on getting sleep. Bottom line, take stress seriously. Take it seriously. Just as much as you're looking at the toxins in your home, look at your stress, because that stress is a big contributor to our toxic load and our toxic burden. Take a picture of this slide as well too. If you don't meditate, start. Meditate, pray, whatever is called for you. Just take time to silence your mind. 5 to 10 minutes of meditation, of highly focused prayer makes a huge difference on the impact of stress in our body. It really does. And we're going to talk lots about this. We're also going to talk then about how no matter how hard you work at managing that stress, if you let the stress in and you have physical signs, we're going to talk about tools to manage, right? Do as much as you can to prevent it, but when it happens, here are ways that you can deal with it. Now, very quickly, guys, we're rounding the top of the hour. I'm going to go through the topics that we're going to talk about in the 8-week course and kind of what you can expect. So in this 8-week course, it's an online course combined with coaching from myself. At first, I thought, oh, let's build an online course that people can learn on their own. But no, I want to be in there for you guys can feel my passion and hear my voice and let me explain things to you so that you can really understand. Because the last thing I want is for people to take this course and walk away from it and not change a single thing. No, this is about reducing your toxin load. So every week on a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, we have a different topic. So for example, the first week, next Monday, the first topic is the toxic threat explained. Then on Tuesday, the 5 toxic entities, then on Thursday, and then Friday. And then every Wednesday is the coaching call at 6 o'clock, which is a Zoom meeting, which we'll talk about all the things from that week, the topics, and I will provide that in-person coaching. And then on Mondays, as you can see there, there's a live Q&A as well too. So it is the perfect combination of January 10th, when you log into your e-course, you get access to all that week's information with videos and templates and lots to read. But on top of that, then we get that weekly coaching. So yeah, I think I'm just so excited about it. Week 2 was toxins and our health. And those are some of the topics we'll be talking about. Week 3 is toxins in our environment, reducing those toxins at home, so much on those volatile organic compounds and understanding air pollutants and understanding how a diffuser can make a huge difference in those volatile organic compounds. Week 4, we focus completely, laser focus on our immune system. We have 2 immune systems. We have an innate immune system and an adaptive immune system. One you're born with, and one you learn or is coming from external sources like vaccines, right? Vaccines that create antibodies in our bodies, or things that we do that create antibodies, I should say. So we're going to talk about those 2 immune systems, how to support them, and how to deal with that immunosuppression, which is such a big topic nowadays. 5, stress and emotion. We're going to talk lots about that. Digestive system, a whole week dedicated to our digestive system. That is how important it is. That is how important it is to our emotional health and our immune system. Our digestive system is the key indicator of our health. And I'm just going to warn you guys, for those of you that are taking the course, I have been known to talk about poop. Yes, we will be talking about poop because it's the true indicator of our overall health. And so I'm going to tell you things to look for, things to watch out for, because our digestive system is it is the center of our entire health in our body. So important, our digestive system. Week 7. Now, I specifically took a course last year because I didn't feel comfortable talking about toxic relationships and healthy boundaries without having some type of education, even though I knew what I was talking about just from my own experiences and what I took from my corporate career, and just the counseling that Darren and I have gone through to make sure that we keep our relationships healthy and non-toxic. And a toxic relationship does not mean you're in an abusive relationship. Toxic relationships could just be somebody that you talk to and you leave the conversation feeling worse. That's a toxic relationship. So we're going to talk a lot about that. And then we're going to talk about, okay, you're done the 8 weeks. How do you take this into the real world? How do you now take everything that you've learned and put it into a plan and figure out what are the changes you're going to make? With the course, with how it is run and all the templates, at the end of the 8 weeks, you are going to have a list of action items you want to take that I'm going to help you prioritize as to what is the top one and what's the one that has the most impact, that will be the most beneficial. And you're going to have a nice list of all the changes you have to make. And that was something that was really important to me, because there's nothing worse than taking a course and then like, okay, now where do I start? What do I do? Right? You're going to get tons of free resources. So for example, we talk about switching to natural products, and I respect that some people's budgets just cannot afford maybe some of the things that that make a big difference. So I should teach you alternatives. So if you can't afford the hand sanitizer, well, here's a DIY that you can make it a lot cheaper, because it's more important to me that you learn and make the changes needed and figure out how you can do it, economically, because I get it, especially with the pandemic, times are tough for a lot of people, but that doesn't mean we can't do things. And that's what I mean. You're going to get so much of this. You're going to get tons of this information as we go through the 8 weeks. Like I said, we're going to go through every room. So for this one, this was a bathroom cabinet. This is one you're going to get. And we're going to go through everything that you would find in your bathroom cabinet and what you can replace it with. That's something that is non-toxic. Laundry room is another one. So this is just a small sampling of all the resources you're going to get in this 8-week course. And this is an example of, at the end of each week, you're given a checklist to make sure that you've learned the key points that I wanted to make sure you've learned in that week. You've captured your action items that you want to take, and that just to make sure that you've taken advantage of everything that was available that week for you. So I cannot wait. Recipes. You're going to get tons of that. Tons of DIYs, so much. I call all of these essential resources, and it's essential to all of us living a toxin-free life. And you guys are all going to get it in this 8-week course. Like, you don't know how excited I am that I finally figured out a way to get so much knowledge out to so many people. I'm so excited. Okay, that just kind of summarizes again what you'll get from the video tutorials, the Facebook community, lifetime access, personal support, templates, journals, so much more. Now, for those of you that haven't joined for the Toxin-Free Living course next week, there's a couple of different ways you can get started. This is what I call our Toxin-Free Transformation Kit. It has everything you need to completely transition your home to being pretty close to being toxin-free. from your toothpaste to your diffuser, to your vitamins, to your lotions, to your hand sanitizers, to your hand soaps, to all sorts of things. So if that is something that you're interested in, because I know a lot of people say, Kim, just tell me what I all need to buy. Let me know. You can text me. And actually what I'm going to do here right now, guys, is I am going to put my number right in here for those of you that don't have it. And if you are interested in wanting to get started with this total transformation kit, you text me, let me know who you are, and then I'll help you get set up. In addition to this kit, you get 3 lifestyle overviews with it at the beginning, in the middle, at the end of a 6-month period to make sure that you fully have transitioned over. Plus you get a 30-day plan to help you cleanse your body. So it's just the total package. The other 2 ways that you can get started is simply just registering for the course. And I am going to put that in the comments right now as well. This is where you can go and find out more information about the toxin-free living course. And if I can do it here, guys. Maybe I'm not as savvy as I think I am. Why can't I? I can't put it there. We'll send it out in the email afterwards. We'll make sure that you guys get it in the email. Or unless if there's anyone on that knows where it is, if they can put it in the messages out to everybody. That's just a link where you can go and get the direct information about just registering for the course. And then the last one is, and I threw this one in because people wanted an option. It's a Healthy Habits Toxin-Free Living Kit where we focus on more on the inside. It gives you everything that you need to start the supplements, to start cleansing the inside of your body, and to start getting on proper nutrition. So that's the second kit. So total transformation kit, everything you need, all the supplies you need to transform your entire home. Just get started with the course, or Healthy Habits focusing on nutrition. So those are the 3 ways. Oh, thanks. Sarah put it up there, so you can just copy that link. Top of the hour, guys. I'm 3 minutes over 8 o'clock, even though I wanted to keep it to 45. Are there any questions? Any questions that anybody has that you would like me to go over? Or yeah, anything. Nothing's off limits. Hi, Janice. I'm having trouble to take pictures of the screens. I think the printing would show up more if it wasn't black instead of the blue. Okay, so the printing is mostly in a dark gray, Janice. So I wonder if that maybe has to do with your monitor maybe as well. Yeah, let me just go back to a slide here. So for example, this one here, Janice, is it the printing that you're seeing is in blue to you? Because it's actually in a dark gray. That being said, Janice, what I can do is I can get you a copy of a lot of this presentation as well too. You got my number there, Janice. Just text me or Facebook message me, or even comment in the Facebook group, and then I'll make sure that I get any of the slides that you want for sure. Any other questions, guys? I'm so excited. We had a lot of new people on tonight, and I'm just so excited the impact that, this course is going to have. This course, you're going to learn so much in this course, and you're going to learn so much in this course, and just by spreading word of mouth, you're going to probably inspire other people. Where is the number? Can't see that in the chat. Okay, it's 780-887-6017. 780-887-6017. Thumbs up. And then Sarah put it there as well too. So yes, text me if you're interested in I'm surprised at I'm excited. Oh, awesome, Janice. We're so excited to have you as part of the course as well, too. It's going to be a fun 8 weeks. It's going to be lots and lots of education, but education with action that you can take. And I was starting to say there that I'm so excited that the different people that are starting to become aware, you know, people that when I would first start talking about it, it was like, oh, it was kind of the cool thing, right? To become toxin free. It was like the cool dudes, right? Like that's the popular thing to do. Well, it's not like that anymore. It's not, it's a necessity. It absolutely is a necessity that we need to reduce our toxin loads. They're just making us sick. As we become advocates for our own health, as we become advocates for improving our own toxin health, that is what we need to do with what is happening in the world right now, is be your own advocate, do your research from reliable resources, credible resources, respect each other. Yeah. Yes, Janice, stop the madness. Stress kills. Stress does kill. When I learned exactly what stress does to our body, I was shocked. Stress kills us on so many different levels, so many different levels. It hurts our minds. It hurts our decision-making process. It hurts our immune system. It creates inflammation in the body. When we talk about inflammation, I tell people to picture that their body is a color from head to toe. And their body, whatever color you associate with peace and relaxation and health, you can either picture your body from head to toe with that overall calming color that you see through. But then when we start adding stress and toxins, parts of our body start turning yellow or orange, those fiery colors, right? And that's what stress does. So whether, you know, oh, my knee hurts. Okay, well, your knee hurts because maybe you injured it, or maybe there's inflammation that is starting to form there. Yes. No stress in Mexico. Yes. I see so many people in Mexico in the nice sun, and oh, it's so nice. But that's what we talk about with the stress, is that the more stress you get in, as you look at your body being calm from head to toe, the more stress you let in, the more fire, the more inflammation in all parts of the body. And the mind, the inflammation in our mind. Oh, you guys, when we think we can't make clear decisions, or we've got brain fog, or I cannot remember things, like that's inflammation, that's toxins, that's sugar in our diet, that's lack of nutrition. All these things are fixable, right? Like one of the ways that, you know, I tell people, like, not everything can be fixed. Not everything is toxins, right? So I look at my own situation. I am the heaviest by far I've ever been, like way more than even with any of my pregnancies. But the reason is because of a type of chemo that I'm doing. The type of chemo is keeping my cancer count down, all my cancer indicates, but I have this huge weight gain, which the weight gain brings a whole other stressors on the body and issues in the body, because we know weight gain, our fat cells, hormones are in our fat cells. And when you have a hormone-based cancer, like I have breast cancer, we don't want those fat cells. So it's in those situations where people are making a conscious choice to take a medication to deal with their disease, that, yeah, okay, we look at those situations a little bit differently, right? But for most people, no, we can change so much by doing the right choices. We really, really can. Couple of things I'm just going to post in the chat. So I am just going to, okay, let me just go here to everyone. While I'm doing this, does anyone have any other questions? I'm actually just going to put, someone asked for those kits there. So I'm just going to paste them in to everyone here for you guys. There you go. So those are the 2 kits there. And then in case you didn't get my number, I'm going to put that in for everyone as well too. And then the website you can go to get more information about the toxin-free living as well too. Any other questions? I'm so excited. All of you guys stayed around to listen to all these questions and stuff. There's no more questions. I am gonna call it an evening, guys. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you haven't signed up for the 8-week course yet, please do. Please do. We're gonna have so much fun. So many people are already in the group, already talking. Oh, you're so welcome, Amber. Oh, I'm so glad you're in the course, Amber. If you have any specific questions, Amber, make sure you reach out to me directly because I want to make sure that you are doing the right things, right? That's very important. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. You've got my number. Reach out and text me or in any of the Facebook groups. And again, just remember, it's a journey. This is a journey. It's not about being perfect. It's about education to make the right choice at the circumstances at that time. So toxin-free living, guys. I can't wait to see you guys in the course next week. Have a great evening, and any questions, you know I'm here. Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining. Good night, everyone.